Never miss an episode of the Final Furlong podcast. Subscribe now on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And now, here's your host, Emmet Kennedy.
It's time to preview Europe's most prestigious middle distance race and a whole host of top-class Group 1 races. You're very welcome to the show. We've got an all-star panel lined up for you to hopefully knock it out of the park. Adam Mills from Total Performance Data, former jockey Georgia Cox, who also writes for the Racing Post Weekender. We've got the voice of Irish betting, the real price-wise, Jamie Wrenn. And we've got one of the shrewdest analysts in the game who's coming to us live from France. He was at Saint-Cloud as we're recording on Friday, so he's got direct access. He's been meeting all the great and the good of the racing game too. Jack Veitch, no relation to Patrick Veitch, I'm afraid, is alongside us. We're going to begin with the main race itself, the Prix de l'Arc, the Triomphe, and the betting is headed by Minnie Hauk for Aidan O'Brien. And if you listened to the show a couple of months ago, you'd have heard Jamie Wren's tell you that the horse to beat, the horse to be on, was Minnie Hauk. She was 16-1 at the time. He is in a fantastic position. Don't know how he feels about Stall 1. We'll find out more in a second. 100-30 is the general price about her now. Aventure 4-1. Byzantine Dream 10-1 shot. Oisin Murphy will have to work his magic from stall 15. Calpana, first-time cheek pieces, don't know how to feel about that. 10-1. And Sosi, who was sent off favourite for the race a year ago, is a 10-1 shot. Adam Mills, you love French racing. You specialise in French racing. Who is going to win the Arc de Triomphe?
Yeah, a month ago I went Aventure is going to win this, no problem. Made the same mistake I always make in this race. Had a bet before the draw. I can't believe Aventure is not going to drift. Stall 12 is very difficult with her running style. She's got to drift in fours. I've said this already on other shows, but the more I look at this, the more I think Minnie Hauk could get an absolute freebie. Stall 1 for a horse that goes forwards on ground that's fresh. They're moving the rail by 15 metres overnight on Saturday, so the first 6 or 7 stalls will be running on fresh ground in that back straight. If Soumillon gets her out, he's got a massive advantage here. Deriz is going to be ridden to get the trip. Wouldn't be the first time this season Barcelona's too far back, so I think we've got to put that one down as a possibility. Sosi is going to probably get a similar kind of ride. In stall 5, you've got Giavolotto. I don't think he's good enough, but even if he is, he's probably not going to be leading. In stall 6, you're kind of starting to struggle. In stall 7, you've got Quisisana. Leffard is in 6. He's going to go backwards. The danger for the pace is the Japanese horse Alohi Ali, who made all in the Guillaume d'Ornano. That form's pretty good because Qualificar was 3rd. So I do think the Japanese horse is slightly underlooked. And I actually think of the 3 Japanese horses, not only has he got the best of the draw, but he's probably got the best chance. But I do think this might be one of those things that's just bloody obvious. And if Soumillon can get to the front and hold that rail, he's going to save ground all the way down the hill. He's on a horse that he knows stays, and she's getting the 3-year-old allowance and the fillies allowance. It could be obvious, but I don't want to just come on a podcast and put that up. So I'm going to give an each-way alternative in stall 7, which is Quisisana for the great Francis Henri Graffard. 10 Group 1s this year. The geezer's unbeatable. Probably the best trainer in Europe, in my opinion. She's a 5-year-old, but she's rapidly improved. Won her last 4. She won the Prix Jean Romanet fair and square. Beat Servi by a length and 3/4. Servi runs tomorrow in the Royalers, so that gives you a bit of a guide as to how strong that form is. But Quisisana is rapidly improving. I'm hoping that she gets a very similar ride to what she's had most of the year, which is kind of 2 out, 2 back. It's going to be a big risk. If Minnie Hauk gets rolling down the hill, I'll be trying to press up in running because I think she could make all. But I do think Quisisana is too big. She's drawn in 7, and I would argue that her form is at least as good as the likes of Calpana, Qualificar, Aventura, and they're all drawn outside her. So for that reason, I'll take each way Quisisana. But I do think the win only needs to be that stall 1 is a massive advantage, so Minnie Hauk is the most likely winner now.
Ooh, bold call from Minnie Hauk. Quisisana is a horse that was tipped up by Laurent. I'm sorry. Hello? Yes, Aidan. Oh. He did, Aidan. Yeah, he did say that. Yeah. I know. Okay. That's okay. That's all right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Friend of the podcast, Aidan O'Brien, is actually the best trainer in Europe and the best trainer in the world. And we'd like to correct the record from Adam Mills' comments there on the Final Furlong podcast because it's Francois-Henri Gaffard, nice man, but he hasn't been on the podcast yet. So I don't know where Adam Mills was going with that nonsense. How many Group 1s has Gaffard won this year?
10.
And how many has Aidan O'Brien won?
19.
The middle distance Group 1s don't count.
19.
The derby doesn't count. Obviously.
19, Adam Mills.
Yeah. Just in case he didn't hear you the first 2 times, Adam. Have a bit of that.
We'll be 20 something by the weekend, yeah.
Hopefully.
By the end of the weekend, yeah.
Hopefully. Okay, Georgia Cox, your thoughts on the... Quisisana, by the way, tipped up by Laurent Barbaran on the Final Furlong podcast earlier in the week, and I know he's very happy with the draw as well, because his opening line to that episode was just absolute gold. We know nothing about the draw. Stall 7 is absolutely magic for her, and she was 33-1 when Lauren was on the show. 20s is the price available now. Georgia Cox, who do you like for the Arc?
I agree with Adam. When I've watched Minnie Hauk back, she's just so straightforward. She's so quick to her feet. I imagine she'll go forward. I even think Los Angeles will probably jump across and protect from anyone chasing her along or anything like that. That could well happen, and that's her biggest positive. If Blue Stocking got out quick and got the best position last year, and she could well do that again. She could do that this year. Obviously, she's never taken on the Colts, and that would be a question mark, but it could be an arc for an improver. I like Darius. You know, both of his parents, this is his first time stepping up to a 1.5 miles. Both of his parents needed the 1.5 miles. They both won on Arc Weekend in 2009. And it's a big ask coming from only having been on race 6 months ago, but I do like him as a horse. I'm not sure Sunday will be his day. I actually like the big prices in this. I think Leffard, everybody was looking at Prolifica last time, but he was so badly placed, and when they quickened, he got caught flat-footed at his first try at a 1.5 miles. But his late sectionals, like, he made up so much ground. I think he will like the soft ground. It's like I said, it was only his first time at a 1.5 miles last time. Hopefully they don't drop him out so much. He's drawn well in 6, where so many winners have come from before, and I like him at a big price. I also like Christiana, as Adam said. Last time she beat Cinderella's Dream and Bedtime Story, and she looks overpriced. If it turns into a proper slog, I do like Prolifera, Andre Farb's horse. Definitely stay, definitely go through the mud. And I think, he's definitely overpriced. Kalpana, just going off of Calandagan, I mean, she made him give his all in the King George to get past her. Yet he went past Aventure like she was stood still in the Prix St. Cloud. And yet Aventure is 4-1 and Kalpana, I think, is 16-1. So I don't think you can... Giovanotto is always underestimated, even though I don't think Sunday's going to be his day. I don't think Marco Botti even wants to run him. And I think she's overpriced at 16-1. And I think they would be my main ones, to be honest. Yeah, they're my main.
I presented Racing Live on TalkSport 2 this afternoon with Tanya Stevenson, and Tanya was all over Lafard. That's her main pick for the race. Her father has been playing, every time she goes around to her dad's place, he keeps playing her replays. He doesn't say, hey, how are you, Tanya? How was your day? How's your week? How's things going for you? No, he just plays her clips of Lafard winning races and going, this is why this horse is going to win the Arc. He's been on it for months, apparently. And if you think about it, he beat Trinity College in the Grand Prix de Paris. Trinity College had beaten Tornado Alert, who comes out to win a Group 1 in Germany, beating Maxa Stars by 2 lengths. Maxa Stars was beaten half a length, or got within half a length of Sosi. Yet Sosi's 8-1 for the Arc. Lafard is an unconsidered 33-1 shot. He's too big a price for a genius of a trainer. Very, very interesting. And another big talk for Quisimara. I'm going to just say it quickly. The Gaffard filly, the 5-year-old who's into 20-1 now. Jamie Wrenn, are you holding Mad? Are you cashing out? Are you holding Mad Tough with Minnie Hauk? Or are you going to hedge your bets with something else?
Oh, you never cash out in Emmet.
Good
Definitely
man.
not.
Good man.
Never cash out. Exactly what Adam and Georgia said. I hope Los Angeles comes across and protects her. So a little bit of a jolt out from Similian, and then Los Angeles comes in to protect her, and then he gets the lead. I prefer the lead off Los Angeles. I will say that, compared to trying to make all. That's just me. That's just my opinion. I respect Adam's opinion and George's opinion. I prefer George's opinion. Sorry, just get Los Angeles to come around, and they get the lead off Los Angeles, and I think we're in business. Very much so. And I think if she goes past Los Angeles, no one else will go past her anyway. It doesn't make a difference. The only horse, I don't fancy any other horse bar and you're going to give out to me now, Mr. Kennedy, for keeping you apparently on the phone for 2 hours, which is complete lies, that there's only one horse that it can beat Minnie Hauk, and that's Calpana. I've looked at this race upside down, inside out. Sure, it wasn't our best performance in her whole career in Ascot, in mine for last year in the Fillies on soft ground.
Yeah.
Stress to soft. Curra third behind Los Angeles. Emmet was second that day. Emmet second to Delaquina Champions Stakes. Given £12 to the world in the Curra on good ground. The difference is, and Georgia took the words out of my mouth, was Clandeghan beat Avonshire by 3 1/4 lengths in the Grand Prix de St. Cloud, where Calpana looked the winner and Clandeghan picked it up at the last minute. And to quote the great Adam Mills, Clandeghan is the best middle distance horse in Europe and in the world. So Calpana, like the last day was only like trot around. Come on, in the September Stakes. Come on, I won't be fooled by that run anyway. 10-1, 16s in place, and all that. Calpana is the only danger to Minnie Hauk, and I think she will not be out of the first three. I'd be shocked if she is. And if it keeps raining, there's a great chance I think she'll win it. So Calpana is a huge danger to Minnie Hauk, yeah, and I think it's between the two.
How do you feel about the headgear?
I even enhance her chances.
Okay. She's the more I looked at it this morning, the more I looked at it again after TalkSport, the more I started to fear her. Mm-hmm. That's a very persuasive argument. Now, what does Jack think? Because, by the way, why is your Twitter username not on the YouTube video? I have no idea what's going on there. We'll fix that for you in a second. We'll get the producers to, or else I'll just do it. But the man on the ground, you're at St. Cloud, you're hanging out with the great and the good, you're getting all the gossip in French racing and what's really going on behind the stuff they won't tell you on X. What is the opinion of Jack as to who's going to win the Arc?
Jack's opinion is the rain is falling like by the meter. I mean, I'm hearing it now. The lovely Airbnb that I'm in is nearly coming to a crumble. It's pouring it down. There is a horse in this race that has been entirely overlooked, and I respect everyone's opinion thus far, but it's not been mentioned, and it's White Birch. White Birch is drawn in 2, which is absolutely fine. I think it probably will be held up, which I'm a little bit concerned about. However, this is a Group 1 horse, and it needs 12 furlongs and it needs soft ground. So I think the prep race in the Irish Champion Stakes was absolutely fine. I've got no issues with that at all. It was off the track since May. Prior to that, it's in the horse in training sale. Do not worry about that, right? So the owner sadly died, and his wife is dispersing all their horses. So that's not an indication on how good this horse is. It's irrelevant. This is a very good horse, and it's been waiting for soft ground and 12 furlongs. And I think this is the most open arc I've ever seen in my life. And at 33s or 40, I think it's 40-1 in a couple of places. You know, this is a Group 1 winner. This is a very, very, very good horse. And I can't believe the price. And it will mark as my best bet of the weekend. You know, the form is there. It's a Group 1 winner. It's been mixing it with all of the good horses. It's massively overpriced. I can't believe it's been as overlooked as it has. And drawn in 2, that's absolutely fine. You know, it will track the pace. You know, that's not an issue. And look, it's a massive price. So White Birch for me is your idea of an Arc winner.
My only concern about White Birch, and he's clearly a very talented racehorse, but that form goes back to May of last year when he beat Auguste Rodin. And I could absolutely make the argument that Auguste Rodin wasn't quite himself that day. Maybe he's still feeling the effects of Dubai. But let's say Auguste Rodin did run to form, because he didn't turn up in the Prince of Wales Stakes when Auguste Rodin won that race. Even if I'm wrong about that, he's still too big a price for a horse of his ability, and he's reasonably drawn in stall 9. I wouldn't talk you out of that at all, especially when you're then saying this is your best bet of the entire weekend. Spoiler alert, by the way. Very briefly for me, it's pretty much the same opinion as Thursday and Tuesday with Laurent Barbaran. I like Daritz each way, or Darius. What is the pronunciation, Adam, please?
Dariz.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd go with Dariz. Yeah.
By one of the greatest Arc winners we've ever seen in the incredible See the Stars, out of a Hong Kong Vase winner who produced a Grand Prix de St. Cloud winner. So he's bred to be a very, very good racehorse. He's unbeaten in his first 3 starts at Longchamp. I think the last day on very soft ground against the Japanese Derby winner Cor de Nord, they were just trying to rebuild him after the awful run in the Jumpment International, which was, in my opinion, a joke shop of a race. Well done, Ombudsman. Well done. Yeah, whatever. Stupid race. All those horses were inconvenienced. Him, very much so. That was much more like it the last day. He's starting to come in for support. He's bred to like this. He's trained by the genius Francois-Henri Gaffard. The danger to him is Minnie Hauk. And I really wanted to take her on, and I'm just starting to get to the point where I can't. If, please God, touch wood, we're all fit and well, and we're talking about the Arc next year, and we're talking about, oh, remember that stunning performance? Imagine if she does put up a Zarkava performance and you didn't back her. I'd feel really dumb. So I'll take 2.
My worry, Emmett, is does Minnie Hauk want to lead? You know, I know she's been up with the pace in the Oaks and stuff like that, but does she want to lead? She kind of has to from draw 1. I'm not sure that's going to suit her personally.
Well, if a lot of people aren't going to like this, and maybe we're completely wrong about it, but if Georgia and Jamie are right, and Los Angeles is the one who goes forward and tucks in beside her, and there's very few people better at that than Wayne Lordan. Now that's going to be you're going to have to negotiate that, and that's not going to be necessarily easy. So Adam could be right. Maybe she's the one who makes all the running herself and just controls the race in the front end and does better than Los Angeles did last year. But I suspect they will replicate the tactics of last season with Los Angeles for her benefit. Doesn't mean he won't run his race, just means that it's beneficial to her. But it's a good point to make. She's a super talent, and I hope she's able to do it. So best of luck, Jamie. It's a fantastic position that you're in, 16-1, and you told everybody on the Final Furlong podcast to back her. So you're in a great spot. Well done. Best of luck to you. Kalpana's a big threat. I wouldn't put anybody off her as well. If you're telling me you're taking 3 darts at this, I wouldn't put you off. It's an incredibly competitive race. Whoever you're with, best of luck to you. Let us know in the comment section on YouTube who you're backing in the Arc, who you were siding with. Are you with Adam, Georgia, Jamie, Jack? Are you going to side with White Birch at a massive price? I'm hoping for a big run from Minnie Hauk. It'll be great to see a proper talent like her go and do it against the boys. It won't be easy, but let's see. The first race of the day is the 1240, the Qatar Prix Marcel Boussac. It's for the fillies. Diamond Necklace is a very strong favourite for Aidan O'Brien. She's a hugely exciting filly. We were talking about her before her debut. We really highlighted her after that debut success. Jamie was part of that. I think Georgia was part of that episode as well. For that matter, she's a filly we're very excited by. None of us were surprised to see her win an Irish Champions Weekend. Now she steps up into Group 1 company in a race that Aidan O'Brien has won twice in the last 10 years, and he's had plenty of other winners in it over the years as well. She sets the standard, and she's going to be tough to beat, I think. Adam?
I think she certainly sets the standard. I don't think Green Spirit is that far behind. And I've got 2 2-year-olds in here that we didn't tend to follow from the juvenile, so it's kind of a bit of a messy race for me. The one thing I'd say about this is the pace is quite hard to work out. Diamond Necklace is in 3, Green Spirit's in 1. You've got Bandigara in 2, who was dropped in at Deauville. I can't imagine Bandigara's good enough to even hold the lead if she got there. Then you kind of look in and think, where's the pace going to come from? O'Brien has put in Venosa, I presume, as a pacemaker. Stall 8's going to make that difficult. I think Narissa is the pace angle, because Narissa made all last time, has got loads of early speed, and she's got the assistance of Clear Chop inside her, who only has one way of running. So I think both of them will burst out, and there'll be a pace for the others to track. I just think I'm going to go out a little. I think Ozone is a massive price. Absolutely massive. I put her in that 10 to follow list. Ozone has done nothing wrong. She's 2 from 2. She won on heavy ground at Lyon, bolted up in a listed race. That Criterium at Lyon was won by Mangustine a couple of years ago, went on to win the French Guineas. She's just a huge price. We got Stefan Pasquier, and I've got to get over that. But Stall 7, she's a big galloping type. I think she's going to get pace to track. I'd rather have her 10 to 1 than take 6 to 4, 2 to 1 the other 2. I think Ozone's got loads more improvement to come, and I think she wants a bog. So the more it rains, the more I think Ozone's a good each way bet.
Okay. Unbeaten in 2, daughter of Lope de Vega out of a See the Stars mare. She should love Longchamp, 8 to 1. Georgia Cox, who are you with?
I agree with Adam. I think she's open to more improvement, and obviously being by Lope de Vega out of the See the Stars mare. This time last year, See the Stars was the broodmare sire of Makarova and Vertical Blue, who both won Group 1s on this weekend. He put stamina in them, and they go through the ground, and the other 2 are just quite short. So I was the same with Ozone as well.
2 for Ozone. Is Jamie Wrenn going to make it 3, or is he going to come to the rescue here with Diamond Necklace being an absolute good thing?
I take on Diamond Necklace anyway all day. I don't think that form is particularly any good from Leopardstown the last day. I think she's next year's horse, Emmet, to be honest with you. The further she goes, the better she'll be. I'm not in love with her form. She was 9-1 on debut, like beating Minerva, who can't win a race. And the Shannon horse last week was absolutely lapped by Xantos in the Rockville. I just don't like her, to be honest with you. I think I'd wait for next year with her. She'll win it, probably trial at Lingfield or anywhere, God knows where, and then on to Epsom. I thought Adam Mills was going to say Green Spirit, and he's gone for Pasquet, and I'm absolutely shocked with him, because I think Green Spirit's an absolute good thing altogether. He said it weeks ago, and he's going against himself. I can't understand him. He sold Green Spirit to me, and I'm quoting I'm not going to call him great now anymore. I'm quoting Mr. Mills. Right? And I gotta say, this is the greatest filly, French filly in the greatest place. Nah. Would you go away?
You've done better Adam Mills impressions than that one.
I know I have, yeah. Sorry, it's Francis Henri Graffard is the greatest.
Very good.
Jesus.
Well, we can do two versions. We can do that sound drop, or we can do.
You should take that back.
You should take that back. All jokes aside, I really was impressed with her last day, and the way she weaved in through and beating the rest, it's just sold me. I think 2-1's a great price, and I just look, Ozone will be dangerous, same colours, but I prefer like Guion compared to Pasquet. Come on. But yeah, I'm Green Spirit, and I'm going to be quiet now because Mr. Mills sold me, and I hope I win now after he's saying Ozone.
Okay, Jack Veitch, who are you with?
Emmet, I think we're together here. It's Diamond Necklace for me.
Finally, some common sense. Finally,
look, I follow the French form, quite religiously, to be honest. And Ozone for me last time out didn't impress in the way that I thought she would. I think the French form is bang average, if I'm being frank. I'm not saying Diamond Necklace is kind of top draw. I think there's a lot more to come from this filly, and if I'm honest, I think she might end up odds on, and I think she's around a probably 10 to 11 poke in this race. I think she's by far the best horse in the race. I'd be very surprised if I fancied her for the Fillies Mile, and I think the Fillies Mile will be a much better race than this turns out to be. Yeah, I said my nap of the weekend was White Birch. This is close. I think Diamond Necklace around the 64 mark is a cracking bet. I think she's going to prove to be a very good horse.
She comes from the exact same maiden as Opera Singer. It's almost as if they're just there. And Aidan O'Brien is a creature of habit, as a lot of trainers are. But that performance on Irish Champions Weekend, and as far as I understand it, they seriously considered the Moigler for her, but they had so much firepower they didn't need to do that. And Aidan likes to bring them along steadily anyway. It was the way she was ridden. It was the way Sumion rode her. And he hadn't been to Ballydoyle and he hadn't sat on her before, but he knew, I'm going to win this. I'm going to win this pretty easily. And Ryan Moore writes that blog for Whirlpool. That's who he does the blog for now. Couldn't have been more bullish about her. I really like her. I think she's a very, very exciting filly. I think she'll win a classic next season. I'm hoping the Oaks. I think Aidan's horses won't be fired up for the Guineas. So I'm all over Diamond Necklace. And I'm glad to hear that somebody finally
we got.
Yeah, you have to be strong enough in your own opinion, but it's always good to have it backed up, though. And if everybody had gone against her, I'd have been like, oh.
So March Basilica, we loved him as a horse, and he should be a great sire. And this could be a stallion-making filly, hopefully.
Yeah, and of course, he won 2 classics in France.
He did.
And she's out of a Dancily mare. So, yeah, there's an enormous amount of excitement about her. I'm hoping. I hope you listen to Adam, Georgia, and Jamie, and you cause her to drift. And Jack and I get bigger odds. Happy days. Happy days.
I've already backed her, sadly, but I'll be having more if we get the drift.
That'll be okay. It'll be okay. We're still counting you on the team. That's all right. To the second race of the day and the second Group 1, the Qatar Prix Jean-Luc Lagardere. I love this race. It's a race that's been won for the last 2 years by horses who would go on to classic glory. The mighty Rizalian, Europe's best miler this year, according to his trainer, and Camille Pizarro, who would go on to win the French Derby. this season as well. This year, Aidan O'Brien's got Puerto Rico, who very much like Camilo Pizarro in the sense that he's suddenly showing improvement towards the end of the season for stepping up in trip to 7 furlongs. He was a really impressive winner of the Champagne Stakes the last day. I know John Gosden, like many times this season, feels like he should have won that race and maybe it wasn't great afterwards. George Gorman tipped up Puerto Rico, so shout out to him. Nighttime, though, is the favourite for Christophe Head and Maxime Guillon. Rayef, a horse that Laurent Barbaron was incredibly bullish about. This was his best bet of the entire weekend, 11-4. And does that make sense to you, Adam Mills? The hype that Laurent, the excitement that Laurent has for this Aga Khan Gaffard horse, does that make sense to you?
It does make sense. I think Rayef will beat Nighttime. I think Rayef is going to improve past Nighttime. I should also say that I've laid Nighttime the last twice and he's won. So it probably shows you how well I'm judging his form. But I feel like Rayef is the coming force. He's by Sea the Moon. The more it rains, the better. Really like the way he won last time. I can definitely see a case where Rayef goes off favourite. Normally in this race, I'll be kind of looking at the English form or the Irish form, trying to find an angle, but I just really couldn't. The fact Time to Turn is 4th in the betting, been off since July. I know his form with a bit of spirit's been frank, but I feel like if there's a good thing for the French, this is probably it. The other one that's a big price is Campersight, who has got to take a big step forwards, but I was really impressed with the way he made all last time. He's 3 from 4 for Jean-Claude Rouget. He's got stall 1. I felt like Campersight was probably the pace angle, lead them down the hill, but surely Rayef is just too good. I'm kind of hoping Rayef really stamps his class, wins this by 2 lengths, and then all us French fans have got something to be excited about next year.
Nice. Georgia, what do you think?
I thought Puerto Rico did it well last time, but beating inexperienced rivals in really bad weather conditions. I don't think there's much between Inner Spirit and Time to Turn. Rayef, by Sea the Moon, he should finish well in what's likely to be tough ground conditions, and he obviously won't mind that. He also has the precocity on his dam side. His half brother was 3rd in the Commonwealth Cup this year. I see him as an improver, beating Andab and Daytona on just his second start, who then Daytona went around the Royal Lodge, was behind the likes of Humidity, Pacific Avenue, who have formed like with a Bitter Spirit and Time to Turn. So I think him being the improver, doing that on his second start, I think I'm going to go with him.
Okay, that's 2 for Rayef. I'll do a spoiler that I'm with Rayef as well, although I do really like a bit of spirit. He's a very tough horse, and I expect him to be hard to pass and to be right there at the finish of the race. But I suspect Rayef will have a little bit too much class for him. Go on, Georgia.
A Bit of Spirit's another one that's in the horse and training sale.
Is he? The Rooney's have him up for sale.
Yeah, he's in the horse and training sale. Yeah.
Well, that could be a shrewd piece of business because they might make a fortune for him, especially after his form with Humidity was boosted the other day. He's a really tough, consistent horse, and he was brave the other day in the Solara Stakes. I like him an awful lot. Tipped on the Final Furlong podcast by Peter Michael and George Gorman. I talked him up, but didn't have the courage or the gumption to back him. The boys did, though, so well done to them. Jamie, who do you like?
I don't think the French horses are any good, to be honest with you. And that's a statement and a half.
Sacre bleu.
I don't think they're in it. Sacre bleu. I don't think Puerto Rico is any good either. He's exactly quoting Georgia Cox. Beat inexperienced horses, Javon and Octagon and thing. He looks an awkward ride, Emmet. He really does. And he just got away with it at Doncaster. He's all over the place. He'd probably improve with age. I think the Godolphin horse is a cracking bet each way here for the Time to Turn. And I think there's a reason why I think the way it won at Wolverhampton, I know it's Wolverhampton, it's all weather, but it was standard to slow. Hopefully they've kept it back for an autumn campaign on soft ground. And I think this horse may need soft ground. It was backed where defeat was out of the question and debut at Haydoff. I was beaten by a stablemate and maximised at 8-13. Then beaten by a Bit of Spirit. Then goes on to Ascot, reverses the form with a Bit of Spirit. Bit of Spirit beats Humidity. Humidity was second to, everyone thinks here, the second coming in Bo Echo. The form is there. The collateral form is there. 13-2 to find out is massive price each way. And I think it's a cracking bet. And I think he'll win.
Okay, that's an incredibly bullish comment about a horse who's currently 13-2 for Charlie Appleby and William Buick. Jack, what about you?
I'm kind of with Jamie in the analysis, but I've come down on a different horse. For me, it's Clive Cox's horse, A Bit of Spirit. I think the form with, obviously, Humidity got boosted last time out. Humidity ran very well behind Bo Echo. I'm kind of the opinion that the French 2-year-old colts wise are not brilliant. You know, I've watched enough of their races to kind of determine that I don't think this is a fantastic crop from what we've seen so far. I think this is a game horse. It will probably lead, or it will sit handy. You know, we know enough of French racing to know that being up the pace is probably a good thing. They never go quick, and I think this is a horse that will, you know, it'll run you a good race. Like it will, you know, it might get beat. It might get beat by a better one, but it'll be game as anything. And I think around the 8-1 mark, an each way price, it'd be Clive Cox's horse for me.
See, I'm of the opinion that Clive's horse should have won the Pat Ellery Stakes.
Yeah.
And that the reason he didn't is because he didn't get to see Time to Turn until it was too late, and Time to Turn was challenging Observatory Giants Causeway style out wide. I'm not taking anything away from Jamie's selection, and Jamie might be absolutely right. But my opinion, the reason I liked him for the Solara Stakes was I thought, oh, you were actually really unlucky that day. You should have won.
Yeah.
So
that's actually good form. You know, I think I've been much kind of maligned with the 2-year-old form in the UK this year, but I think that Solario Stakes is actually. I know. Pacific Avenue didn't really kind of run a race, but Humility did, and I think that's good form. It's Puerto Rico for me won a very, very, very poor Champagne Stakes, and I'll be surprised if he can improve beyond, you know, the crop that we've got. So yeah, it certainly be Clive Cox's for me.
I'm slightly worried. I don't know where Constitution River is, and I don't understand why he hasn't been out. And he's not the only. Basically, they're relying on Stad for the Dewhurst.
Yeah, it's kind of got to be Dewhurst or Futurity, I suppose. But
yeah, possibly.
You know, we'll see.
But this is the third target he's now missed. And given the fact that Albert Einstein's on the sidelines and Charles Darwin hasn't been seen since Royal Ascot, and there's a couple of others that are so much firepower there at Ballydoyle, but I very much doubt that Puerto Rico is good enough to. Hey, if he does, good luck, and maybe you're with him.
What price did he go for Doncaster? I mean, he went off like, you know,
he was back towards the end, 15-2. I think he was a bigger price in the morning.
Yeah, I think he just picked a lead, and you know, I like the second horse in that. I can't remember the name.
Oxagon for the Gosens.
Yeah, Gosden horse, and
he was behind Constitution River on debut.
Yeah. So you know, it's good form, but I think I don't know if he's a top notcher, if I'm being frank. So
I would agree. I'll be doing some some combination elaborate lucky 31-63. Rayef will be in it, but so will the Bit of Spirit. He's 15-2.
Yeah, big price for me.
That doesn't make any sense that he's that price, but I'm with Georgia and Adam on Rayef as being the main pick, but there will be some elaborate combination multiple there. Speaking of elaborate combination multiples, how are we going to get our heads around the latest running of the Sprint Wheel of Random Madness? This time it's the 5 furlong French edition. We got the Prix de l'Abbé. Asafora is your favourite. Would she be the first Australian winner in France?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, good luck to her. No thanks at 9-2. Maybe the others will disagree with me. Rayevka, all right, 7-1. She's been done no favors with a draw of 19. Afjan, 10s, First Instinct. Oh, look, who cares? Who's going to win it, Adam? Whose turn is it?
Yeah, whose turn is it? That's a good question. The draw here is massive. If Mikel Barcelona gets Rayevka to win from 19, his photo will go on that wall. I'll acknowledge him as the greatest jockey of all time, because that will be one hell of a...
You go away, boy.
19 and win the Abbey on Rayevka, who...
Oh, God, Mills is coming out with classics today. I'm actually shocked at what's coming out of your gob today. Seriously. Sorry, your mouth.
But the other thing is, I think they should check on Mario Baratti, because I think he must have sacrificed one of his children to the draw gods. Monte got stall 1 in the trial 4 weeks ago, and here we are in the Abbey, and she got stall 1 again. Well, he must have looked at the draw and thought, what is going on? Someone is definitely taking something here, because that horse has got the absolute plum draw. Wooded won this race from stall 1. I could definitely see a world where Monte wins. I nearly put up the 2-year-old Afjan, because I think soft ground 5 furlongs is what he wants, but still 10. I could just, because of the way Afjan has run this season, Quite often he's been behind and then come through. You can't do that here. You just can't do it, especially against the older horses. I'm going to have a very tentative bet on Monte. Now, when she won the trial 4 weeks ago, it was an absolute dream because the leader just moved far enough off the rail that she didn't have to move. Ran in a straight line, got the better Evka. Pontos was third. Don't be lured in by Pontos. Talking to myself more than anyone else. Pontos always runs well in every 5 furlong sprint at Longchamp, except the Abbe when he runs a stinker, despite the fact that I've backed him. So although he's got stall 2, I can't have Pontos on my mind. I think Monte is the way to play it, but to be honest, I'm not really. This is the race to go and have a cup of tea, I think.
Oh, I absolutely agree. Now, I will just relay that when I interviewed Kieran Schumacher live on air today. What an absolute gentleman, class act. He's got a good book of rides. He's got some good rides at Ascot, and he's got some really good rides at Paris Longchamp as well. I asked him, what's the horse you're most looking forward to riding this weekend? Without hesitation, he said Maghera. He can't wait to get back on her, and he thinks there's a massive run in her from stall 5. So I'm just passing it on to you. I think this is an insane division where they just keep beating one another, so I don't want to overthink it too much. Georgia Cox, if you're going to tell me your nap of the weekend runs in this race, then I'll back it blind.
No, it's definitely a race I've struggled with, to be honest with you. And like Adam said, I wouldn't be backing anything in this. It's difficult. Maghera, I don't know if she's quite slow away sometimes. I don't think that would suit here. The 2-year-old Afghan I thought was interesting. He got a form boost last time out when beating Havana Anna, who's then gone on to finish second in the Cheveley Park. I mean, it's not really for me, to be honest with you. The few that were interesting have got awful draws. Sky Majesty stepping back for the first time. I mean, they say her first time in Group 1 company at Haydock, she didn't quite finish it off. I just thought she'd done too much early, so then didn't finish off. Yeah, I would be passing on this. I wouldn't be betting in this.
I don't blame you. This is a nightmare of a race, Jamie Wrenn.
I'm going to quote the Bertie Ahern here. Stop waffling, and I'm going to move.
If you stop waffling, we might get some work done. They're a waffler.
Exactly.
There've been years around here waffling.
And a pint of best, and I'm going to sit down and watch it, because if I tip Night Raider one more time, I'm going to jump off the bridge.
Oh, stop. Please stop. No.
So I'm sick of it. I'm done, and I have no interest. I'm going to sit down and watch it, and hopefully they have a nice camera angle so I can watch the actual winner of where it dips down on the line, and we'll see what happens then.
We have the best listeners in the world. We have the best viewers in the world. And I can already see a few of you will be getting the comments ready if Night Raider goes and wins, going, oh, you deserted him and he's gone and won. What were you thinking? If we backed him...
all my friends in the group chat will absolutely take the living mick out of me for the rest of my life, that horseman's debit.
Here's the problem, though, Jamie. Here's the problem. If we back him and he wins, and the current price is 10 to 1, is that what the price I saw? 10 to 1? Yeah, 10 to 1. Drifted from 9.
Price, no, not being smart, like, it's a bad price.
If he wins at 100 to 1, we wouldn't recover the losses.
No, I would totally agree with you there.
Can't do it. Wait for the all-weather. He'll be on the synthetic track and he'll be a monster.
The 2 horses that I like are the French ones. One's drawn 1, the other's drawn 19. And then I said, you know what, forget it.
Jamie, do you have the race card in front of you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've asked the AI assistant to do a random draw.
Go on for the
So
crack.
here we go. Right, here's the random draw. We'll give you the trifecta. The first number is number 1.
Who's 1 again? Sorry, Emmet, my phone's after going off.
Number 1 is...
Oh, this is cracking podcast content. This is gold. Please hold, caller. Your call is very important to us at Final Furlong Podcast Hours.
It's the 80 to 1 shot against the wind.
Yeah, it's a rag. Yeah, one of the rags.
Well, we're all back in that, so.
Kevin Ryan's horse, yeah.
What draw is this horse coming out of?
13.
13.
Oh,
not a good one.
That's not going to help. Okay, well,
The rag.
This is bizarre. The second horse is number 2.
Oh, Washington Heights.
Right.
Drawn 17.
Oh, Jenny Mac. The third, according to the AI guru of madness,
I'm worried about this AI.
Is number 4.
I don't think they're going to be taking our jobs anytime soon. If they're tipping up, 17 in the Abbey. I'm not sure.
Who's number 4?
Who is number 4 in this race? Migari.
Migari, yeah.
Oh, so the AI has just gone for complete random outsiders. And see, the AI does. See, I for one welcome our AI overlords.
It's probably not the worst. Probably not the worst idea. This is a lottery. Despite Adam's, I think Adam and I are on the same page here, but he's jumped off the cliff. I'm staying on the cliff. Pontos from Trap 2.
Okay.
I mean, this horse will lead, or at the very least be handy. This, he's such a stalwart in these kind of events. I know he doesn't turn up in this race. I get it, but 25-1 for a horse that will lead from a good draw. I mean, it's an each way nap. I can't see him out of the. What do we get in this race? Four places, three places,
absolutely 4 places.
Yeah. I mean, he'll run his race. He might get chinned, but he will. You know what you're getting with him, and I think it's a great price. I love him. He's such a sort of stalwart sprinting ranks. Like, we've got such kind of bang average horses in these events. I mean, he probably is bang average to a degree, but I love him, and he'll run his race, and I'd be amazed if he was out the top 4 from that draw. So have to be Pontos each way for me.
Well, I asked Tanya Stevenson for 5 to follow for the weekend, and one of her 5 was Pontos.
Yeah. Okay. If he was drawn 18, I'd be worried, but he's drawn in 2. He's going to lead. We're talking about a front end sort of bit of a gas hole in this kind of race. He'll be there, He'll be in the 4. I'd be amazed if he wasn't in the 4.
Here's what I know about the sprint division. I know the National Hunt season is almost back. We're going to have Daryl Jacob on TalkSport 2 on Friday when we cover the racing at Chepstow, which we're looking forward to. And in the build-up to the racing at Chepstow, Paul Ferguson returns to the Final Furlong podcast next week for another episode of Jumpers to Follow in association with Weatherby's. Join us for that podcast. It's going to be a lot of fun. And earlier that day, we'll be joined by Tom Malone, who's going to have a lot of horses to talk to us about, including horses that he's very confident are going to be landing some black type races. 2 Jumps podcasts specials for you next week, and we've got some other special guests joining us next week, never mind weeks to come as well. So make sure you've smashed the like button on this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, CastBox, Podbean, TuneIn, Player FM, wherever it is you're listening to us. Don't miss those episodes. Your support of the show means a lot to us. In terms of this race, listen to my esteemed colleagues. One of these 4, or maybe our AI guru, may very well have tipped the winner. But I'll just be sitting back with a nice cup of coffee, relaxing, going, so that horse won. It's a crazy.
I mean, at Longchamp, you can barely see that race, so I shall certainly be getting some food or a beer of some description. So
yeah, I'm not enjoying the sprint division. Put it that way. No. I'm enjoying it for the people who are winning. That's great. Yeah, well done to you. I don't care. I'm not a betting prospect not at all. Anyway, Prix de l'Opera. See the Fire is favourite. We'll get her beat, surely. Tamfana is the 5-1 second favourite. Okay. January. Headgear is discarded. Christophe Soumillon rides for Aidan O'Brien. 6-1. She steps up to 10 furlongs. We Might Take the Long Way, who has formed with the Arc favourite, is a 6-1 shot for Dylan Brown McMonagle and the informed Joseph O'Brien. And then there's a whole host of other horses who are very, very interesting for this race. Surely we'll get See the Fire beat, Adam Mills.
Potentially so. I'm not really sure with See the Fire whether I want to take that kind of prize about her for all of that. The York performance was impressive, but since then I'd kind of argue it's okay. I mean, she's probably the best, but 3-year-olds have won 8 of the last 10, and I just wonder if that 2 kilo allowance might make a difference. But then the trouble is in the 3-year-olds, he's sort of scrabbling around. I'm going to take a flyer here, and it's probably going to fall on my face, but I just thought Nicoreni was a big price. German Oaks winner, drawn in stall 1 for Peter Schergen, who is probably the best trainer in Germany. I really like her German Oaks, the way she went through it, absolutely tanked through on the front end. Pulled out for a challenge in the straight because got the job done. From stall 1, I thought she'd be quite prominent. I could have really done with the horses in behind her doing us a favour, but they did. They ran to a certain degree reasonably well at Baden-Baden, enough to make me think Nicoreni was definitely the best horse in the race. And I'd just rather back her each way, because if I back See the Fire or Tamfana, I can find reasons to take them on. And if I get beat by one of them, so be it. But with the 3-year-olds having a good record, that was my each way play in the race.
Okay, I like it. Georgia.
I can see what Adam's saying. Obviously, she stays well, having won over further, and the ground will be no bother. Tamfada, she's obviously on a recovery mission. I'm surprised they even ran her in the lock-ins. They always said she wanted cut in the ground, and we haven't seen her since that. And she's in the mare sale, so it's probably going to be her the last hurrah, and you just wouldn't have a clue where she's at. See the Fire, I'm not sure soft ground is really what she wants. We take the long way, should do okay. I don't know if January wants to step up and trip, does she? One that I do like that is drawn in 11 is Grand Stars of Jared Mosses. She ran against Kissiana last time, who I do like for the arc, and she was third and only beaten a length and a half in the Prix Marcel. So I like her. Killing Queen, I can't have her at all. I would have said after she won that Group 2, job done. I don't see her enhancing that anymore. So again, I don't think it's really a race that I'm that 100% confident on anything, to be fair.
Yeah, I kind of stoked the fire a little bit today by saying, oh, remember that day in July, Kieran, when you beat some bloke called Colin Keane riding a horse for some organisation called Judmon? That must have been pretty satisfactory for you. And he didn't bite because he's too much of a gentleman. But he said, he made a point of saying that was a genius piece of placing from Ed Walker to find a really weak Group 2. And that she's a nice horse. He was full of praise for Minnie Hauk. He said he got nowhere near her, but the way Ryan Moore came flying past on her, he was really impressed. Because I like Minnie Hauk for the arc, I come down and we might take the long way. She won over 10 furlongs at Navan on soft ground in Group 3 company. The horse that was second to her that day was then sent off favourite for the Ribblesdale for Paddy Toomey. She was third to Garden of Eden and hasn't been seen since. She's been behind Minnie Hauk in the Oaks, got close to Whirl in the Pretty Polly Stakes. Obviously, Kalpana was in that race as well, and then finishes second to Minnie Hauk in the Irish Oaks last time out. There's a lot to like about her. 10 furlongs should be fine, and she'll be okay on soft ground as well. And Joseph O'Brien's horses are in flying form. So 6-1 about we might take the long way will do for me. Jamie Wrenn.
This is my next best of the whole weekend.
Let's go.
My Tampan is an absolute good thing. Absolute stonewaller. 5-1 each way is printing money. Absolutely printing money. Why isn't she in the Sun Cherry going for back-to-back? That race is terrible. We should be the Inspire last year and actually whooped Sea the Fire. And she's a bigger price now than Sea the Fire. I just don't understand that. It's craziness. She should be favourite. Obviously, going back, third in the Prix d'Anne behind Sparkling Plenty, fourth in the Grand Prix de Paris last year with Sozi, then one third behind the best miler last year, Charing, came back against Dancing Gemini, ran in the lock-ins, exactly what George is saying, doesn't go on good to firm, and then has taken the time to recover from it, and always wants cutting the ground. Exactly what Jack's saying. I hope we keep raining, because all our best form is on soft, heavy ground.
Still raining.
It's still raining. The reason why I think she's a good thing, she should be in the Sun Cherry because she'd win that anyway. She beat Cinderella's Dream and Fallen Angel with her mouth open. So, to be honest with you, because she's coming here, and obviously it's more money probably, Adam will correct me on that because he knows more than me and Jack will with the French racing. I think Barnavar will go out in front, catch me if you can. January can't win race. We might like take the long way, but his form obviously Minnie Hauk, but I think he just got close to Minnie Hauk because Minnie Hauk was idling, whatever. Sea the Fire just is a flat track horse and just likes York, and that's about it. So Tamfana, his form around Longchamp and all that. Oh, absolutely. I'm gonna, as I say, bend down and pick it up.
Her best performance last season came under Colin Keane, and Colin Keane is back on board. So as I was saying, Tamfana, bet of the day. I absolutely agree with Jimmy. Damn, that was a compelling argument. Yeah. Total flip-flop. Get rid of that Joseph O'Brien horse. Let's all get on the David Manoussier gravy train. Damn, that was a compelling argument, my man. Jack, who are you with?
Emmet, you and I are singing from the same hymn sheet this weekend because we might take the long way. For me, is the best horse in this race. Tamfana, I totally get Jamie's point. I find her a bit trickless. Is she a miler? Is she a 10 furlong horse? I'm not sure. You know, she could go and win this, but is her form strong? I'm not sure. Sea the Fire, she absolutely hated soft ground at Goodwood. It was a very weird race, obviously like a flag start and stuff like that. But as Jamie said, you know, I think York is kind of her track. Like she's a bit of a flat track bully. We Might Take the Long Way is kind of progressive horse who's in the right sort of model to kind of improve. And I feel this trip, and as I keep teaming on about. The rain is falling. It's all I can hear. You know, she ran very well at Navan when the rain fallen and it was soft ground. I think that would be to her benefit, and I don't see it being to the benefit of many of the others. So for me, I mean, what is she price-wise? Around the 6-1 mark? I think that's a cracking bet. So, you know, you can play your places. I'll be playing win only, and I think Joseph's in cracking form, as we said, and that'd be the bet for me.
As I was saying, we might take the long way. Absolute nap of the week. No, I really like her. I really like it.
I've put up about 3 naps on here. I mean, she'd be kind of next best -1. I think it's a good bet.
The form is there. The form is there. I think they've kept her fresh for this race deliberately, and it's now.
If Minnie Hauk wins the race before, you know, what price are we?
Oh, she should collapse in price.
Yeah, and you got to watch it and do the old contingent double or whatever if you're that way inclined. But I think it's cracking bet with the ground. Personally.
Related contingency 3-1 Minnie Hauk, 6-1. We might take the long way. Let's go each way. Scumbag account closer. Hopefully, last race. Well, there is one more. There's a bonus race for you, but Adam Mills will reveal all a little bit later.
Are we doing the Arab race, Emmet? Bloody hell!
We might just be doing the Arab race at the request of Adam Mills. But before
I'm going to defer to Adam. That's not my area of special.
It's not even on the Racing Post running order. There's no card for it. It's everything is. Adam Mills could be making up. It could be a virtue. It could be Steeple Downs he's talking about. I wouldn't have a clue. But before we get to the thrilling Arab race, 425 is the Qatar Prix de Foret. This can be a really interesting race. More thunder. A lot of us were very excited about the prospect of this horse lining up on Champions Day, and who knows? Maybe he still will. He may get a sick note being drawn in stall 16. Running on potentially soft ground. I don't think that's going to suit him. But as for now, 7 furlongs is the race he's going to go for, and he's the 5-2 favourite for it. Zaragana, is this her moment to shine? She was second on this day last year in Group 1 company. She's the 4-1 second favourite. Sagir, unbeaten under Oisin Murphy, and now a Group 1 winner, having downed Lazat the last day, 6-1. Marinona Charlie, very likeable horse, who was placed in a Group 1 behind the mighty Never So Brave last time out, 7-1. Who do you like, Adam Mills?
If he got a better draw, I'd be all over More Thunder, but he hasn't. Still 16. I'd kick myself for back in 11-4 shot drawn out there. It just no. If he wins, then fair enough. But I can't bring myself to back something that wide on a track that runs predominantly downhill. It's going to take a monumental performance. And where he's got himself out of trouble in the past, Ascot and Newmarket and things, the leaders are stopping. Here, I don't see that likely. And I think there are lots of very strong 7 furlong stayers here. So I'd be too worried about the price. Zaragana, I'm disappointed to see there's no headgear. I really thought there'd be headgear, and there isn't headgear. I think this is the right trip. I think it's the right race. But just, again, with Zaragana, I'd just be so annoyed at myself if I backed her. Because I could just see this thing where I'm thinking he's swinging, and then he's going to go, and she's going to look at him and go, no, sorry, Mikkel, I am not going far. So I can't have it. I don't like Sagir's draw. I really like Marinona Charlie. He's got really good Group 1 form. He is 7 furlong horse. He's probably the dirty each way bet. But some people might read my ATR column. And I wrote a column on Monday saying, Graffard's got this horse called Rochefort.
Oh, here we go again.
He's plugging it. He's plugging it.
Well, no, because it actually made me look a complete arse, Mr. Graffard. Thanks for this. He had Rochefort in a race on Saturday, the Daniel Wildenstein. And I thought, that's the race for him. Only entry on Art Weekend. Here we go. Up to a mile. Definitely going to suit. Easily going to win the Wildenstein. Wrote the piece. Got it published. 24 hours later, they decide, no, we're going to supplement for the Foret and not take up the Wildenstein entry.
That's because he read your artitle.
Yeah, it probably is. He read the article.
I knew you'd say it, Kennedy. I just
tipped it up. Right, let's do him over for €22,000. No, I just think Rochefort will be seen as a pacemaker for Zaragana, and he might be, because I think he's a strong stayer at this trip. But I think he's actually here on merits. He was still good enough to run in the French Guineas as a 3-year-old. He missed a lot of time. The race at Dieppe was completely irrelevant because they managed to drop him back into one of those conditions races because he'd been off with injury, and he was probably about 2 stone well in. But he got the better of Poet Master last time in the Prix de Pan. Now, Poet Master drifted into the centre of the track. But what I liked about this race, and if you watch the replay, it's a bit confusing because it's one of those Paris Longchamp races that uses the second winning line, not the first one. So you think Poet Masters won, but actually Rochevar's on a true line, stays on really well. I think this is going to suit. Rochevar's are good each way. So I've kind of decided just to split my stakes. I'm going to take Marino, Charlie and Rochevar against the field. And if More Thunder does us, so be it. But I can't have an 11-4 shot drawn out in the car park. Did
you say Rochevar was supplemented for a race during the week for the cost of over 20 grand and then they took him out and put him back in this?
No. That's double major. Rochevar was in the Wildenstein, and that was his only entry this time last week. So I was thinking, here we go. There's one of my best bets of the week. Put him up on Monday, and by Tuesday morning, if they had read my column, they decided we're going to supplement for the Foret instead. Okay. So probably a reflection of my judgment more than the Aga Khan team.
It'd be nice to have that money, wouldn't it? I think.
Yeah, just to go. Yeah, the double major thing was particularly weird. That supplement on the Tuesday and then take him out, having paid a supplementary. Work that out.
What a world! I'm still convinced that if they wheeled Kyprios out, he'd just win that race, even with his injury.
Agreed.
What a terrible.
Run it in his sleep.
Well, imagine if Queenstown wins it, and George actually thinks the horse is going to run a big race, and who knows?
I do too. I think she's a right chance.
I spoke to George Scott today, and he likes his, but he was a bit lukewarm, if I'm being frank, which is a concern because it's like 4-1 Fav at this point.
Cabrera de Mayo.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, imagine Queenstown, Group 1 winner of the Prix de Qatar. That'd be some crack. Okay, Georgia Cox. They describe her as being a bit nuts, but is this her moment to shine?
I think she's intriguing stepping back and trip. I also like the way Francis Graffard has put up the gallop videos of all of his horses this week. That's quite interesting, and I don't see her having a problem with stepping back and trip. She's got plenty of pace. In More Thunder, I feel like Haggis has come here because it's a happy hunting ground for him, with one master winning it 3 times, so I guess he knows what it takes. And he's got Mobtazib in the champion sprint at Ascot. But I bet he couldn't believe it when he saw where all of his horses have been drawn this weekend. And even though he's probably the Group 1 winner waiting in the field, being held up on that ground, running downhill into the false straight, he has got one of the pace horses next to him, Witness Stand. So Holly, I'd say she'll go a good one to get across. But I think I agree with Adam and Marina. Charlie is a consistent type who has course and distance form and could be an each way price. So I think I'll go there really.
7-1 is the price you're getting about Ariane Lemetre's mount. Jamie Wrenn.
This is the nap of the whole day in the Foret, and I love it. And it's for the same connections as last year, who I had my biggest bet in the world ever on the flat. I'm a Ramachuel or in the Christopher. Marinara or Charlie with the draw is an absolute good thing. Drawn 4. I'm like, we all know More Thunder is the best horse in the race, and there's no doubt. If it wins from stall 16, it's an absolute monster. I will say it's an absolute monster at 7 furlongs. It's the best 7 furlong horse in the world. It doesn't matter where it is. If it wins from there. Sajir, I think he's drawn too wide as well. I would say Zaragan has no chance. Mind that horse doesn't know how to race. Go back and Marino or Charlie, right? I have a bigger head carriage than Saragana, but we won't go into that. Go start here. Fourth, obviously, Shanti behind Woodshawna. Then made all at Longchamp, the last in a Group 3. Second, Woodshawna and Jean Pratt. And third in the City of York. Behind Never So Brave, who was the right chance in the QE2. Second was Lake Forest, should have won the race. And fourth was the champion 3-year-old miler in Rosalian. So Woodshawna then obviously was third to Sajir, and our favourite one was that. The form is all there to be seen, but Marina or Charlie will win. And I think if it goes out in front, it will catch me if you can, and no one will pass it. Now, if More Thunder comes from another parish, the clip is on the line, fair enough. But Marina or Charlie, 7-1 is print money each way, and I think it's an absolute good thing.
I love More Thunder. If you're long-time listeners to the show, you'll know that he's an absolute machine. He'll have to be a machine to go and win this race from that draw. He was the first one off once the draw comes out. I'm with you. I'm with Marino and Charlie. I think he's going to take an awful lot of beating. The Line in Winter has boosted the form. Rosalian definitely boosted the form, finishing second in a Group 1 as well. Is it Wooded is going to... He's going to be bet out the gate by Diego Velasquez, hopefully in America on Saturday night.
With Shauna, yeah.
With Shauna. Thank you, Georgia. The form is there, and obviously it's last year's winning connections as well. Jack, who are you with?
If we spoke in April or May and we said you can get Zaragana at 11-2 for the Prix de Foret, I think we'd all probably take it. And I think this is a massive price. It comes with a kind of wealth warning that she will be played late. It will be kind of head bob stuff. But for me, this is just a massive price. 3-year-old fillies have won the last 2 renewals this race. She'll be played late, and it's going to be kind of heart and mouth stuff. But come on, this is the best horse in this race for me. I know at Ascot it kind of went wrong. I mean, I was on a massive bet. We don't need to talk about that. But More Thunder's drawn in the car park. There's plenty of pace on here. Like, it's not going to be a kind of French renewal where there's not a lot of pace. I think closers will suit. She's drawn well in 6. I can't believe this is not the best horse in this race. And I was expecting a price at around the kind of probably 2-1, 9-4 mark. We're getting 11-2. About a very, very, very good horse here. I know her head hangs. I know she's not the most genuine, they say, but I can't believe the price. I think it's mental. So yeah, it's last chance saloon for me, but I think it's Zaragana, and I think that's outside of my arc bet. I think it's probably one of the strongest bets of the weekend for me at this price, I have to say.
Whoa. Now, if we had said at the start of the season that Zaragana is going to dog it in the French 1,000 guineas and then be handed it by the stewards and dog it at Royal Ascot and won't be seen again.
Yeah. But
I get it, though. I completely get it. She has an enormous amount of ability. She was second in a Group 1 in this meeting a year ago. She clearly has a lot of talent, and if Barcelona just manages to coax her through.
I mean, it's not a pretty watch. She'll be getting up like on the head bob, but she, for me, is the most talented horse in this race, without question.
Well, let me ask you this question then, because obviously the price is fundamental to you. Odds are the crucial thing in your betting. You're not going to place a bet unless you're getting the right odds. She's been 11-10, 4-5. She was 2-1 on when she was beaten last year on Arc Day. She was 2-1 on for her trial, 4-5 for the French 1,000 guineas, 6-4 at Royal Ascot. What price do you think they'll send her off on Sunday?
I reckon around the 11-4 mark, I would say.
So if you're getting 11-2, and if you can get it.
Honestly, fantastic bet for me. I think that's a cracking price. Yeah, personally.
Obviously, 1x bettors who we're talking about, but we don't have prices for them. But there are a couple of firms who are doing you a favor of a 11-2. I can't imagine you'll actually get that anywhere near that on the team.
Yeah, if anyone can get on with those firms, please send me a message. But I mean, I'd be having a large bet at sort of 4-1 plus. I think it's a cracking price. Okay,
I didn't see too many head shaking, and I didn't see anybody ringing the men in white coats just yet. So I think you're all right. It's the odds, and she definitely deserves it in that regard. Okay, one last race, bonus round. Tell us all about the Arabian race, Adam. As far as I understand this, there are 2 superstars running. Who's going to win?
Yeah, everyone takes the mickey out of this, but it shows you what money can do. €1 million prize money. This is on at 2:25 UK time. This will be live on ITV, this Arabian race. So while it may not be in the Racing Post, it's definitely on. And, Arabian racing is not for everyone. And they are very different type. It would be wrong to consider this like a thoroughbred race. It's completely different. They don't tend to quicken. It's more of a relentless galloping type. I think, a couple of people have mentioned about the group 1s at Saint-Cloud today that the ears freak them out. But the horse is just a little bit different in terms of their size. But there are some serious equine superstars. The favourite is Lagardere, ridden by Christophe Soumillon for Al Shakab. He's the horse who won the Group 1 at Goodwood, and Soumillon got off and said, this is the Frankel of Arabians. His record is 12 wins from 13 starts. The second favourite is a horse called HM Al-Kachin, who's won 10 of his 11 starts, including 2 Group 1s. The third favourite is RB Kingmaker, 8 times winner, 3 Group 1s. The fourth favourite is Lusail, who's run 14 times, finished in the first 3 13 times, and won 3 Group 1s. This is a fantastic race, but there is a bet in here. Lagardere is going to be very short. There are actually a couple of firms who priced up the Arabians. I can imagine some trader in the office got this and went, oh, bloody hell. Right, ChatGPT, price up the Arabians. This is a bit tricky. But Lagardere is 4-1. HM Al-Kachin is 4-1. But HM Al-Kachin is drawn in 6 and Lagardere is drawn in 12. I'm going to have some serious each-way filth on HM Al-Kachin. Now, this is not, you don't want to be thinking you're going to have half your bank on this. It's a small bet to keep you occupied. But these are 2 of the best horses in the race. I listened to another French preview this week, and the pundit said this is the equivalent of Frankel versus See the Stars over 10 furlongs. Now, that is probably a little bit of a stretch, but it is a really good race, and there's definitely value because HM Al-Kachin will not be out of the 3. And with his draw, he might just be in front of Lagardere, and Lagardere is not necessarily certain to come past him.
You've sold me on that. I had no interest in that race whatsoever. Yeah, now I do.
I'm entirely sold, Adam. That's good stuff.
Exactly. If you want to have a cup of tea, go and have a cup of tea when the Abbey's on.
I was just going to say, I'm gonna tune out for the Abbey and watch the Arabian race instead.
There could be a lovely message sent to Adam Mills after that race again.
Could it be a not drunken, but it sounds like or looks like it's a drunken message from Jamie?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get the best bets from the team for the weekend. Adam Mills, your best bet for Arc Day.
Best bet for Arc Day. I'm going to say Quisi Sana each way in the Arc. I think that price is the best value.
Okay. Georgia Cox, your best bet.
So I like so many of them in the Arc rather than all the others. I don't want to go for too many. If we get a right deluge, I'm going to say at a massive price, Leopard.
Tanya Stevenson and Georgia Cox are 2 of the people I respect most in racing, and they've both gone for a 33-1 outsider in the Arc. I love that, Georgia. It's the year to do it, to be fair. He says, tipping up Minnie Hauk. Jamie Wrenn.
Tam Fan and Prix de l'Opera.
Damn, you really are sold on her. Jack.
We've had plenty of Arc action, so I don't want to, misstep. So I'm going with Zaragana at 11-2. Massive price.
Okay. I'm going to do one of my elaborate Lucky 63s. Hopefully it'll have paid off on Saturday, and it won't really matter to me. But Diamond Necklace, Ray F / A Bit of Spirit. We might take the long way. Marinona Charlie, and it'll be Minnie Hauk / Darius. That's how I'll do it. That's a Lucky 31. I think that's 5. Good luck to you in the sprint race if you're taking it. And there's no betting for that Arabian thoroughbred race that I'm seeing. And I don't even see the race card for it. So everything that Adam Mills has told you sums that up. But we'll definitely be following Adam in on the Arabian race. That's it. As far as I know, the team is back to review the race on, all of the action on Monday. So we can break down the madness that was Paris Longchamp. The Saturday, the Sunday, the major Group 1s on the Sunday, obviously, and we'll throw in the Sunshine as well, which never gets any love on this weekend, but it's a cracking race this year. So join us on Monday. We'll announce the winner of Peter Michael's competition as well, which you can get involved in if you've watched the Saturday preview. Thank you very much for listening and watching this episode. I don't think I harassed you too much. In fact, I'm not even sure if I said it at all at this point to say, have you liked this video? I said it at the start, have you subscribed to the channel? I hope you have. I hope you're enjoying the content. Huge thanks to Georgia, to Jamie, to Jack, and to Adam for their time and for their insight. I really hope you've enjoyed it as well. And thank you for joining us on the Final Furlong podcast. Enjoy your weekends racing. Enjoy your weekends betting. Jack, try not to get too soaked in France. Have fun on the gravy train. We will talk to you on Monday.
The coat is needed. Yeah. It's worrying.
We will talk to you on Monday. Big week of podcasts next week. Tom Malone, Paul Ferguson, the gang's all here, and of course the weekend preview on Thursday as well. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button on this video as well. Show your appreciation for the team. We'll talk to you again very, very soon. Look after yourself and each other, couples.
Thanks for spending some time with us on the Final Furlong podcast. We're independent media, so if you like what we do, hit like, share, and subscribe. It's free, it's quick, and it genuinely helps. And if you enjoyed this episode, there's plenty more where that came from. Don't miss out. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all major platforms, and join us on the gravy train. The Final Furlong podcast, independent, unfiltered, and powered by you.